It's going to be a little bold, but I want to put a little message out there for Kevin Feige. When news came out that Hugh Jackman was coming back to Deadpool and Wolverine, I think we all lost our collective minds. It was a triumphant type of announcement. Keep in mind, for years, it was never going to happen. Like, Hugh Jackman was like, I'm good, I'm done, I'm not doing it. And recently in an interview, Kevin Feige confessed to what he told Hugh Jackman at that time when he was done with Logan. In this, he says here, Feige says that he was just as touched as everyone else when Logan delivered a fitting conclusion for Jackman's take on the mutant hero in 2017. Feige told him, I said, let me give you a piece of advice, Hugh Jackman. Don't come back. You had the greatest ending in history with Logan. That's not something we should undo. So, starting at left guard, the Kevin Feige was a contributing factor as to why it took so long for Hugh Jackman to come back. This is not the first time that this has happened, and this is becoming a recurring thing with Kevin Feige. Now, I've already told you guys that I still believe that Kevin Feige is probably going to go down in history as one of the greatest Hollywood producers of all time. I've also told y'all that we are in the midst of living in history because we've never had a cinematic universe to this proportion ever. We've had movies that have had multiple sequels and stuff like that, franchise, sure, but not like the MCU. But it's time for Kevin Feige and those in Marvel Studios to let go of this idea. Matter of fact, I'll just call it a myth. And that myth is the notion that bringing characters back or even recasting will ruin legacies or stories of a character that left off on a good note. He previously said that he didn't want Robert Downey Jr. to come back as Iron Man because the ending was so great for Tony Stark. He didn't want to recast T'Challa after Chadwick Boseman's passing because nobody could do it better than Chadwick, right? He didn't want Hugh Jackman to return as Wolverine because Logan's ending was so great. Now, everything he thought about was true. Logan was great. Chadwick Boseman was fantastic. The ending for Tony Stark was exceptional. All of that was true. The one thing that I think Kevin Feige has missed is the fact that audiences are sophisticated enough to separate things in the past. It's kind of like sports. Even in the NBA, walk into your local barbershop, whatever, you still have people to this day talking about basketball from the 90s era when the rules were different and Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls, let's go Bulls, were dominating. Just because something was great, it doesn't mean that people will forget it if something or someone new comes along. Nor does it mean that the past will be undone. Didn't nobody forget about Michael Jordan and the Bulls because LeBron came along? If anything, we talk about both of them at the same time. Kevin Feige has to learn to trust the process because he's in the business of fictional storytelling, which means he literally can do whatever he wants at any time. People will either cherish it or they'll reject it, but they'll never forget it. So this idea of trying to say, this great thing happened, we can never go back. Sir, you have the multiverse. You write fictional stories. You create fictional situations. What are you talking about? If what Kevin Feige's ideology were true, we'd have only 100 comic books in existence because we could never bring nobody back. We could never have characters do different stories. We could just, once it's great, you just leave it there and bury it. That's not how it works. I need you to let go of this. It makes no sense. If Robert Downey Jr. came back, and let's be honest, first of all, you don't want him back because you're going to have to pay him Tony Stark money. I understand. Okay. Just say that. Just say that. But if Robert Downey came back today, if he came back today in the MCU, who is going to forget what he did in Endgame? Hey, y'all, there's a variant, Tony Stark. It happens to be Robert Downey. Who's going to forget the 616 version? Not me. What are you talking about? If you brought in another T'Challa from another universe and you said, hey, this is the T'Challa from 919 or whatever, who's going to forget Chadwick Boseman? And I'm talking to all the people out there that are like, nobody could do it better than Chad. Are you really going to forget Chadwick Boseman and what he did if someone else from another universe came in? Really? Are you that superficial? I don't think you are. I think you're smart. I think you're sophisticated. I think you can juggle in your mind that there are two different actors that are playing maybe a similar character, but the circumstances are different. Which one of y'all forgot all them James Bond actors in all the different James Bond movies? Y'all forgot Sean Connery that fast? Y'all gonna forget, Daniel Craig just because somebody else gonna step in? No, nobody's forgetting these things. So this ideology that Kevin Feige has, it needs to be let go of. You can do great things, and just like in the comics, which by the way, you're still the head of, you can come back and do something else. And if it fails, that's okay, because we'll still hold on to the past until something new comes along. And guess what? If something great does come along, we'll still have the past and we'll have this new shiny thing. I need them to let this go because it's a bad myth. I'm not going to call it stupid because I understand emotionally where he's coming from, but it's a very bad myth. And you are limiting the potential of growth and all of that by not continuing new things. You mean to tell me that you almost had us not have Hugh Jackman come back? Sir, how dare you? Because I had to get that off my chest. Like that really bothers me because I'm like, you're too smart for this. Like you as someone in the movie industry, you're too smart for this. You should not be sitting here beholden to moments as if they can't move forward. It'll be all right. I mean, look at Creed. Creed continued on with Rocky. Rocky made 2-3 movies right after Rocky 4. Who is forgetting what happened in Rocky 4? I'm not. If he dies, he dies. I'm still rocking with it. It's a myth. Let it go. Guys, what do y'all think? How do y'all feel about the past Kevin Feige decisions? Whatever you think, please feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. This was just a segment of one of my live chats, and if you're interested in joining in on the next one, be sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications for more. I've got more videos and reviews to do for you all, and until next time, I'll see you all later.